Alright, hello. Good Halloween. We are in the hospital. I'm going to be giving feedback. If you are a regular viewer of my channel, you might know this map from Counter-Strike Global Offensive playlists, and now we have moved to CS2, and it's quite nice to see the same map maker Tulio working on the map in the new game. The map has gone through quite a many changes, and this time around it's not the same version as we playtested in CS:GO, which is nice to see. You know, when you move games, you also make a new version of the map, and you have time, you have ample opportunity to like rethink a couple of the decisions that you made. So definitely that's something to appreciate here in, for example, in this map especially. One thing I have to point out that's kind of odd in this map is that the props seem to be scaled in a unnatural way. Like, have you ever seen a van this large? Maybe like a Hummer. This is the city spawn. Let's get to the actual feedback. So the map has changed quite a lot. The bomb site B, I don't think like necessarily it was that big of a deal, like that broken of a bomb site earlier. It just had like quite a lot of jank, and here we can see quite a lot of that actually come into play again. My main feedback for stuff like this is that this wall over here is going to introduce quite a lot of like unnecessarily messy angles, just from the joy of like playtesters and gamers in your future maps and how the map feels. Definitely, like, is there a better way that you could like get this gameplay out of like a more fair of an angle? Like, you might see a player head there, you might not, and then over here the player is going from there. It's just feels kind of messy. Yeah, and this time the bomb site entrance is over here, so it's more direct of a like this entrance is shorter. Like, it doesn't do like this sort of a thing anymore. So there's like a parking lot here. Okay, the one, like, I wouldn't say necessarily an issue of the map, but like a quirk, was that terrorists, when they get middle and they pretty much get it for free, they can pretty much just juggle around the bomb site entrances, and then again make like CT rotating too hard and like very annoying. And there's not really a way to maintain. Oh, okay. Interesting. There's not necessarily a way to maintain a good CT control and take it away from the T's necessarily with like playing the map. So my biggest criticism to the level is the middle has to be contestable by CTs, and the ground has to be occupied by the CTs. So in order to make the gameplay feel rewarding for both teams. Alright, I'm reshooting this part of the video since I did such a poor job explaining the how mid works in Dust 2. So in Dust 2, you have a no man's land called middle in the middle of the map, and short and lower tunnel. Terrorists get the top middle under control, and they can very easily push there to maintain some sort of a control over to short and lower tunnel connections. With controlling that ground, you can then push on through from short and lower tunnel to B ramp and to A bomb site on short. CTs can also take action to controlling those areas, and CTs get the sightlines from double doors, B ramp, and short to the middle. So CTs control naturally the area with their sightlines. Terrorists control the ground, CTs control the sightlines. Through CT efforts, you can also get the ground on middle under control, and thus control the area before the choke points to the bomb sites. This is exactly what's missing from DE Hospital, as terrorists can control the connections to the bomb sites, as example in Dust 2, short, lower tunnel, and B ramp. In Hospital, they are called connector to B, connector to A, and CTs are left with no option to push in to take the control over middle, and they're just left on the bomb sites and rotating through CT. And terrorists can easily push into both of the connectors without CTs really having anything to say about that. And that means that, imagine Dust 2, terrorists having short for free, and tunnels, like lower tunnel for free, without there being a risk of CT being there. So that just like goes to show how delicate these things are, and you have to design for those. And that has been a core issue of this map in its every development stage. Like, the issue with both of these is that the terrorists are able to flank into the CT position. Like, lower tunnels does that, yeah, and it's like naturally kind of more like a T-sided area, much like lower tunnel on Mirage, and those areas tend to play better, like when one of the connectors is like more T-sided. But here, the players are like, if you're a CT here, holding like this, or holding like in this corner, the bomb site main entrance, you're getting flanked as by a terrorist, and that just makes the position feel like not worthwhile to push into, and CTs are just gonna get sandwiched. And here's the exact same deal. So like, if you're holding this, or holding this, or holding behind this, or doing something like that, the Ts are going to flank you from here, and you're just getting sandwiched by two pushing terrorists, and like two lines of fire, if that makes sense. So there is a fundamental flaw. Well, calling it a flaw entails it's a loaded statement, and it means that the map doesn't work in any way. But I'm gonna say that this map doesn't have that quality for it to enjoy. Like, the rotation control is completely dominated by terrorists, and CTs are left to enter the outside of the bomb site, like this. Yeah. Have you ever played a map or a match on like one of the classic maps, like Mirage, Cache, Inferno, and Dust, like one of those, and the Ts can just push anywhere all the time, and you have no control over middle. This is what this map feels like, and this version is very close to the CS:GO versions. So I'm going to assume that that's how the map plays, and the feedback still stays true from those versions to this version. This is very cute. Okay, that has been Hospital by Tulio. Let's move on to the next map. CS Dockyard Escape. It's a hostage map with CTs getting the hostage right away. So that's already half of the jankiness of the hostage mode out of the picture. I like this approach. Definitely an interesting idea, and I saw a couple of the screenshots, and I know that the players are able to like climb all the dockyard containers and whatnot. So it's a very let's say imaginative and movement free, and the emphasis is not heavy on the angles. You know, the angle planning. It's not like a classical Counter-Strike map with like methodically planned angles. It's more like a Apex Legends map, if that makes any sense. One thing I would definitely point out is that the containers are really bright in their color. I would definitely add more colors and be a little bit more subtle with the color vibrance. This is definitely kind of it just makes the map look very kind of cheap. Take a look at other maps with like loads of containers. For example, like Black Gold. Well, that map is like very monochrome in its design, but definitely shipped by cat food. That map has a great sense of color coordination with the containers, and it's just like so pleasant to look at because like all the colors are kind of washed out. They're kind of more down to earth, and you don't really see that many like bright red, green, yellow, blue colors in that. Everything is washed out. Everything's under heavy utility all the time with those like said cargo containers. But this theme is very fresh, and I kind of sad that I missed the whole playtest of this map.
Right now! Right now! You can't drop a single word!
Oh, do you have an AFK?
Definitely an interesting thing. This is going to be a helicopter here. It's also kind of a small map. Like CTs come here and they start. So my only feedback thus far has honestly been just the color use of color, and I guess if Lamarite, the maker of the map, looks at like real life reference, you can also find that these sorts of like container shipyards are also surrounded by super large factory warehouse buildings, so that there's like this could also be indoors, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that's just an awesome theme for a fun little map. Maybe with a map like this, actually, to like reintroduce some like classical themes of having a sight line go through the whole thing, like one long sight line. Just like designing it around like a classical map theme. It's like here, I bet the T-spawn is going to be around here as well. It's the hostage rescue. So imagine there's one container in front, you're behind it. You push out, you have an op as a T, and you see all the way through the map. And there's like a key point that CTs have to cross to get into like a very advantageous spot. And you could have another like a guard tower somewhere up here that you could like snipe around. It's just one of those maps that really, if you're going for a more casual gameplay, then you can have really like you can have so much fun with like kind of stress-free ideas. Like this could be a lamppost that you could have a sniper's nest in, and then have a lone terrorist having an AWP while a fucking CT team is trying to push through the small cramped pathways and alleyways between the cargo containers, and you're just a T sniping them. The balance there is that you have no cover in the tower, but the CTs are able to like, you know, peek you from like all these like different headshot angles. Like this could be a little headshot angle that you can peek. Stuff like that. It's definitely a kind of a missed opportunity to not have like design aspects like that. Just imagine a tower there, or like a crane. Yeah, before CS2 was announced, I actually tried making like it wasn't a cargo container. There's like a shipping yard in Helsinki. I live in Finland, and in Helsinki, like we have this place called Crane, or Nosturi, I guess. Rest in peace. It used to be like a live music stage thing set in an old like factory facility area, and it had one of those like large cranes. It's just like it's a theme that I did not like make into fruition, or like didn't see through. I was just like grayboxing, doing something funny, and then CS2 was announced, and I was like, oh well, okay. And the Half-Life Alyx editor was already out, and I was messing around with that for a short while. So I didn't take mapping for like as seriously after finishing Astra, but definitely this map could enjoy the same theme and same idea. Yeah. Also, it being a hostage map, it's kind of nice. And I don't necessarily like this long of a pass into the hostage rescue zone. Like the hostage rescue zone could be, it's like one container that's made like this out of the like leading out of the map, and the whole map could be just like building up on these cargo containers. It's like making a jump from here up onto a cargo container that then would lead above it, and there could be like it could be this much of space inside of a little like crammed area like this. Like this could be the hostage rescue area where you have to be coming up from the top, and that could be the water that makes the landing like soft, and this could be the exit, leading to like a little bit more of enticing gameplay like that. But yeah, that has been CS Dockyard by Lamarite. that's about it. I'll give more feedback videos like this in the future. Leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't. I think if you're outside of the subscriber populace of people subscribe to me, it's just like outside of this channel watching this. Nice to have you. Welcome. And join MapInk. We are having a great introduction to the world of CS2, and it's a blast. Just talking about the engine, learning about the engine. We have a new event going on. It's a good time. And yeah, stay safe. See ya.